Hello there! It's a nice and wonderful pleasure for me to be here in this amazing first class that we're going to talk about one of the subjects I most love, which is PMP certification, Project Management Professional Certification. Well, maybe you don't know me. My name is Joel and I live here in Brazil, but you will see me from now on the internet talk more in English because we are expanding what we are doing here in Brazil overseas. So I'm passionate about project management. So I truly love this profession. I truly love all the knowledge that comes with project management. It's a multidisciplinary area. So again, I'm so grateful to be here with you in this new series that we are launching in our channel here at YouTube. So you need to be prepared because we will have 8 free classes at least to show you exactly the step by step that you need to take to be successful in your certification, but not only to have the diploma, the certificate, the paper in your hands showing that you are a certified professional. No, we are talking more than this. We are considering here to show you how the PMP certification can really empower your career, can really bring you results, can really increase your salary, can open new opportunities to you in your career. And you have to take in consideration that we are talking about not specific by a region, but we are talking about a profession that is growing very fast worldwide. So that's why we really need to take a time to learn and to go and get the certification. That is still a very important certification in the world of project management. So starting now, without wasting time here, I want to be objective with you. So that's why we prepared some great material I would like to share with you here. So we prepared some slides. Of course, we will not be stuck to these slides, but we will uncover everything you need to know about project management. So let me adjust here my controls and let's get started. So what do we want to learn in this first class? We will go through these summarized objectives that I'm showing in front of you. So we understand how important is the PMP certification. We will understand also what is ECHO, examination content outline, which is the base, which is the reference which upon the test is made. So this is our reference. We will go through a little bit in this first class here, and of course we will expand discussion as the classes moves on. So of course we will also talk about the to identify the recent change or the latest change on the PMP exam. I might be talking here after the release done by the PMI in 2021. And of course, I want to give you practical tips in terms how you should study to get your certification in your first try. Okay, so let's move on here. So let's cover the first topic. What's PMP certification? And in this overall question, we will talk about the definition, how important it is, and what is the impact to a professional that holds this certification? So I want to bring with you really key important facts, some data also, to show you that we are not talking about something that will be useless in a few years, but completely opposite. I'm talking to you here in this first class about a certification that has increased its demand because there is a reason. Because the project management area is growing very fast in the world, and there is really a need of qualified professional who knows how to work in a project environment. So that's what we want to cover. So if you allow me, I would like to explain for you in a very basics what's the PMP certification. So the PMP is a certification for those who want to be experts in project management, who wants to have a sign-off from a institution that's well recognized in the world, telling to the world that, hey, this professional, he or she is well prepared to manage complex projects. She or he knows how to handle investments, how to control budgets, how to make forecasts. And maybe one of the most important things after the COVID we live it, this professional, what the PMP tells to the organizations, to the market is, this professional knows how to handle risks. He or she knows how to manage it, how to identify, how to qualify, how to provide action plans, how to track these actions and really bring values through the risks, the opportunities, and be aware of those conditions that may jeopardize the results of a project. So let's understand in a similar way. So the PMP is issued by the PMI. PMI is the Project Management Institute, funded in the United States in 1961, or I might be wrong here, or 69. I don't remember very well, but after we finish this class, we can put here on the description of this video so you can check later. Okay? So in a similar way, you might think it's the same thing when you go to have your driver's license. You may go to organization, into a school, and participate in a lot of classes showing you how you drive cars and explain you what are the laws that are applicable considering the transit, the traffic that you have in your city, in your country, in your neighborhood, no matter what. This is a theoretic classes. You learn all the theory. But how do you test if all the knowledge, everything was shared with you, you really understood it? That becomes knowledge to you, and you are able, when you leave the class, to apply this in a real life, in day by day. So that's why you go to a practical classes, and then you go and take cars and drive with some assistance, with a teacher besides you, to help you to not kill anybody in the road while you are a beginner. So that's maybe perhaps exactly what the PMI does when it certificates somebody with a PMP. So you may go to a post-graduation course in project management. You can understand the 49 process stated in the PM Box 6. But how do you test if you really knows how to apply this in a day by day? How do you show that you are really a professional, not only a theory people? You understand me? I think you are following me very well. So that's why we have the PMP certification. And the PMP certification doesn't test what you memorize. It tests what you memorize, but what you actually put in practice. How the test does it? It does by bringing you real conditions to the questions. So you will see when you read the questions that most of them are really related to the day by day, the challenges that the project managers, the coordinators, the people involved in project really faces in the day by day. And you will see, and we will explore this within this class still, that it's not a question of memorize it, but it's a question of memorize it to have some experience before you go to exam, and really to have a analytical mindset when you read the questions and see the potential choices, and you need to pick the best one in that condition. Okay, so we'll explore this. So why is that so important, the PMP certification? So the PMP certification is recognized not only in a specific region. For example, the PMP is well perceived here in Brazil, but we all know that the PMP is well received also in every country we travel to. So the PMP, it's a global standard accepted by the biggest companies, and really it's understood if you are here in Brazil and say somebody, hey, I have the PMP certification. And if you travel to China, to Hong Kong, to United States, to United Kingdom, and say to somebody, hey, I have the PMP certification. So if these two persons, they understand what project management means, of course they will understand what PMP means, and they will have the same understanding that this is a very valuable certification. Yes, so it's a global accepted certification, and in a globalization era that we are living, with a lot of things changing, that nations become closer to each other because of the advances of the technology. The PMP, it's able to cross borders in the way that you can be here in Brazil, physically located here in Brazil, but manage projects working with another PMPs in the world, for example, in China, Japan, Singapore, and have the same understanding when you guys talk about risk management. Yes, the PMP is able to do that. That's why it's really so important. But other than that, if you want more reasons, I can bring it to you, of course. So let me make a question for you. How many PMP certified professionals do we have in the world today? So you may Google it, but I can give you a short answer. So we are talking about 1.5 million professionals certified in PMP around the world today. So, and you may say to me, so seems to be a lot of people, yes or no? So definitely it's a very low number. And I want to show you why here in the further slides that I prepared for you for this class. No, this number when we compare with the demand we have now and with the demand of professionals that we are seeing in the future, based not only on what I think, but based on very well done research conducted by the PMI and few other institutions, we can see that we will need in the very soon much more certified professionals. So, well, just a reference for you. If you ask me, where did you get this number that you just mentioned here? So there is a link. If you go to the PMI website, that you have the database of all certified professionals in the world. So if you know somebody that says that he or she is certified, you can put his or her name there and search it. So you will see if his or her name it's on the PMI database, and even more important, if their certification is still valid. Yes, there is a process to continue to maintain your certification, let's say, alive for years. Okay, we'll talk about this later, and of course not in this class because it's the only introduction class, but we'll talk about this in another classes. Okay, so let's move on. I think I covered few things here when we say the definition and significance or importance of the PMP certification. I want to talk to you in a much more detail now. Let's see. What is the impact when we say salary or career growth? So you can see here in front of you, and I want to go straight to the point. Yes, so this is a snapshot one of the research that is conducted year by year by the PMI, where you can see some very motivating numbers. And so personally, I do not think these numbers are made out of nothing. No. So I have over 20 years of experience in project management. So, and I have met a lot of professionals, not only here in Brazil, but around the world, and had a chance. And I still work managing projects around the world. So, and when we talk, we can easily find that these numbers I put here back in front of you again, they are really what happens in the organizations. So you may find yourself in a position that's okay, but I work with a project, but my salary is way low of what you're showing here on this table. Of course, this might happen, my friend. We're not perfect, but this is a reference based on a research with a certain number of people and professionals that tries to bring the reality or what happens at majority when you talk about project management professionals. Okay, so let's get back to that table. Yes, so within this table, I'm showing here very interesting things. So let me try to use my resources here. Okay. So what you're saying here within this table is that average salary, and let's go to the United States here, of a professional certified project management certified professional, around $110,000 a year. Oops. Yes. So, of course, these numbers here, what you're showing is when you are a PMP with less than 5 years of experience, so you might have this average salary by year. So when we are a little bit more experienced, 5 to 10 years, yes, sure, your salary tends to grow. Of course, this is basics. And when you are well experienced, so have 10 years plus of experience, so you of course are making more money. What is interesting in this table is this number. So let me try to do this my best here. So I'm learning how to use this pen. It says here, let me do it so you can see that somebody that doesn't hold the PMP certification but works in a project management, and this is well reasonable. So I know a lot of professional that does that. So in my particular case, let me bring to another table here, to another screen here. In my own experience, I work with project management since 2003. Yes. I applied for the PMP certification 2018. Yes. 15 years later. So why did I do that? Well, because I didn't see, honestly, the value of having a certification in the environment I was working on. So, but in 2018, things changed. So, one of the clients asked, so, who is the project manager? They said, it's Mr. Joel. So, does he hold the PMP certification? And they say, not yet. But there is a plan for him to study for 3 or 6 months, no more than that, and have this certification. So he will be your project manager, don't worry, with a PMP certification. Yes, that's basically what happened, and I'm so proud of that because it changed it, it helped my life. So it helped me also to make more money. So, and I'll talk more exactly what I do and how the PMP certification opened another doors, and one of the doors is exactly this one. I'm in front of you right now explaining you, and it will teach you how to be certified. But not only this, I will teach you how to take value of your certification, how to increase your salary, how to be well prepared for other opportunities once you hold the PMP certification. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. So what this table is saying, what this snapshots that I put in here in front of you is telling us that, okay, so yes, I need more training on this. Yeah, no, exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so that the professional who holds the PMP certification makes over 33% of those who doesn't hold the PMP certification. So this number may change, but actually this happens most of the time. So if you see here, Brazil, so it's the country that I live, it's the same based on this research that professional that doesn't hold the PMP certification make 56% less salary compared to those who holds the PMP certification. So it's a lot of money, huh? Of course you agree with me. And so if you ask me, is this really true? Well. We of course we need to understand how this research was conducted, because there are several factors: company size, people experience, some particular legislations we have here in Brazil. We see some people managing projects, really complex project, but with assignment, like if he or she was a project assistant. You understand me? So people who are making project manager jobs, but they have their functions as a project assistant. Yes, this happens. Not only in Brazil, of course, I know it happens in many countries. So I'm not sure exactly what are the basis that of this research, but what I can tell is there are truth on these numbers, and this is what we are why we are bringing it here to you in this class. Okay, so let's move on. Another thing is, so we are talking about the global recognition of PMP certification, right? So this is one important point. I just mentioned to you about the salary. Of course, there are more opportunities with greater salaries for those who holds the PMP certification. And I want to move here to the next slide, saying to you that if you go to the Google, just Google it. You can do it after the class, right? So, and say project manager in the country that you are. For example, here, I wanted to see project manager opportunities in United States. So I just Google it, and this is the result. Simple like this. You see the numbers. It's amazing numbers. So if you do the same thing here in Brazil, you will find, of course, different numbers, lower numbers. But even here in Brazil, I can tell you. So we are motivating people to study project management because this demand is growing. We really need well qualified professionals in project management. There are a lot of projects that will demand several employees with a very structured approach in project management. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities in project management around the world. And as I said before, one important thing for you to keep in your mind is when you have a PMP certification, you became a global project management professional. It's really true. I have my friends that they use it to work here in Brazil. They found very good opportunities in the United States, England, some places in Europe. And one friend of mine, he was absolutely crazy in my view, because he found such amazing opportunity in terms of money in China. But China is completely different from what we live here in Brazil. Starting what we eat, the language, the culture. But okay, he went there, he stayed for a year, and he decided to come back because the money was great, but there are other conditions. But this is a true story. But what I'm saying here is really the PMP certification can open doors not only in the country you live, but worldwide. You became a citizen of the world in terms of project management. Okay, so let's move on. So another important thing. So read the headline of this slide. So projections 2019, 2030. Let me zoom it a little bit here. So what we are saying in this slide is that it's happening already. We are seeing increase of job related to project management. It's really need to make clear for you. I'm not saying here, PMI is not saying here, these are project manager job opportunities. No, it's a project management oriented work or oriented opportunities to be open year by year. Yes, if you look here to United States, you see we are talking about 128,000 project management oriented employment happening year by year for some reasons, because of course there is some retirement happening and there is the workforce expansion and there's a lot of projects happening even here in Latin America. We are seeing a great number, so you see the number, but we are not talking only about Brazil here, but about Latin America, Mexico, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil, of course, okay? And Chile, a lot of other countries that are part of the Latin America. So, yes, the numbers are great. The future seems to be amazing. And that's what we have to believe, right? So we need to be inspired. We cannot let the fear avoid us to take the next step that we know some point in time will bring the return over the investment that we are considering by, for example, investing in the project management professional certification, PMP. Okay? So another thing I would like to share with you. So the global economy is changing around the world. Yes. So we are seeing that, and these are real numbers. The GDP of each country, the gross domestic product, 1/3 of this GDP is driven by the project, is driven by the investments, is really conducted by project management professionals. So yes, and this number, this fraction is growing up as the years goes by, because most of the work in the future will be done by projects. Yes, keep in mind, we are facing a revolution in several areas, in several things, and we are changing how the economy works. So I'm saying to you, yes, most of the results of one nation in the future will be based on how well they conducted their projects. Keep this in mind. So that's why I'm really a believer, and I always say to my colleagues, to my students, project management is the driver who helps. Project management is the driver that drives. So let me state again. I'm trying to find better words here. So what I say to people, my colleagues, friends of mine, is that project management is the driver, is the strategic real thing that will empower the economy of the nations. And those nations who have their people well prepared to handle complex projects will be the most powerful nations in the world in 30 years, believe me. Yes, the world is changing. The world is changing. When you look at China, you see what is their global domestic product growth rates. It's because they are investing in technology, and of course, not only this. There is something particular to China, but when we talk about project management, we see a lot of professionals and going through and chasing the project management certification. Yes, China has certified a lot of professional over the last years because they understand really professionals capable to drive and manage projects will change their economy, will make them stronger they compared to what they already are. Keep this in mind. Let's move on. Times go so fast. So let me move on here. I think we already covered these few slides here. I would like to talk to you now. How do you apply to the PMP certification? Yes, so there is basically two methods, and I'll go with you very quick here. So let me try to use my resource here. No, it's not working. It's not working the way I would like. Let's try. Yes. Okay. So method 1, a 4-year degree diploma. It means you need to be a bachelor. 36 months of leading projects. So during the application, yeah, you should be able to put your track record, to bring some evidence that you are working with projects. So you may ask me, but I never worked with a project manager, I never coordinate a project. So let me make things easier for you. So keep in mind that you are applying for the PMP not because you are already a project manager, perhaps, but because you are willing to take the next step. So let me take one example. So if you are a production technician, you work with a continuous improvement activities, and you have some method like the 5W to H, it's enough for you to bring evidence during your application. Yes, because if you have something that has a clear objective, that has a starting date, has an ending date, limited resources are applied within this time frame to provide a new product, a new service, or a particular result, so bingo, you are talking about a project. So yes, you probably have experience working with projects. Okay, so let's go back to that slide. So this we mentioned here 36 months of leading project and 35 hours of formal project management education. So yes, so if you buy our training to be prepared for the PMP certification, this should be enough. Okay, if you already did some post-graduation in project management, this will help you as well. Okay, key important. Okay, let's leave the numbers, the costs for the last part of this presentation. The second method is you don't need a bachelor degree to have your PMP certification, but you need a high school diploma at least or equivalent. Okay, so and what PMI understands, okay, you don't have a 4-year degree, but maybe you are well experienced. You have 5 years of experience leading projects. The same comments I did here for the 36 months applies for the 6 months. Okay, and again, if you buy our training pack to pass in your PMP certification, you should be good during your application. And I really need to bring these costs here. I hope you stay motivated, okay? As I said, PMP is well recognized in the world. It's one of the most important certifications for project managers. The PMP doesn't testify that you know the theory of project management, but it testifies also that you are a professional capable of implementing the best practices. You are a professional that knows how to handle situations of conflict based on the day-to-day situations that the PMP exams try to bring to test us, to really capture the best they can to make a full understanding of how well we are able to manage complex and big projects. Okay, so let's move on from here, because there's still some remaining slides, and wow, I will speed up a little bit here. Okay, so going to the second part of this first class, there is the ECHO structure. Well, what is ECHO? ECHO is the examination content outline. This is the base, the foundation, the reference on what on the top of this the PMP exam is made. Okay, so there are three domains. PMP exams talks about people, process, and business environment. This, if you are like me, you had your PMP certification before 2021. These terms might sound new for you, but they have been here for quite a while now. And within these three domains, we have the tasks and the responsibility in each domain that we will move quick here, because this is an introduction. Oh my goodness. Is an introductory class. Okay? ECHO domains. So, if you are considering to apply for this certification, you need to demonstrate competence in these three domains. And here, if you look at the table, percentage, this is the amount of questions that will show to you during the exam. So the ECHO is saying that 42% of the questions in the PMP exam will be related to the people domain, 50% process domain, and 80% business environment domain. When we talk about people in general, and here's a great summary I did for you, is you need to understand about leadership, communication, how to build teams, how to motivate teams, and how to solve conflicts. Yes. So, and the ECHO understands there are 4 tasks that the project manager willing to have the PMP certification needs to show competence. Okay. So when you go to the process, this is the classics of project management, the 5 process that we use it to have it until the PM Box 6. But when I say use it to have the 5 process well established on the 49 process, show it on the PM Box 6, I'm not saying that the PM Box 7 really take everything out and is not considered anymore as a good practice. No, contrary to that, PMP, the PMBOK considers that everything that we brought until PMBOK 6 is valid, is useful, but we will expand from now on, basically with the agile approach. Okay, so let's get back here. And when we talk about the business environment, yes, we are talking about how a project fits with the strategy, compliance, impact, change, and governance, and therefore tasks. So let's move on, bring some more details. So if you take the task number 1, we are talking about manage conflict. So in terms of what you do day by day is project manager should be able to interpret the source and the stage of the conflict, analyze the context of the conflict, evaluate, recommend, reconcile, appropriate solution for the conflict's resolution. When you go to the process domain and you take the task 1 also, so project manager should be able to execute the project with the urgency required to deliver business value. This is pretty basics. There is nothing new here. We knew this from more than 50 years perhaps. So what are the day-to-day tasks? Evaluate opportunities to deliver value incrementally. This name refers to somehow to the agile practice. Support the team and break it down project as needed to achieve the minimum viable product. Oh, this is really a new word in the project management world. So, and this goes on and follow the same structure when we go to the business environment domain and we see the task number 1, for example, the way I'm bringing it here. So what I'm trying to tell you here is you need to download the examination content outline. You will easily find it on the PMI website. So the ECHO is your reference. If you want to know what you need to learn to be successful in the project management on the PMP exam, this is the key reference. This is not a study guide. It's a reference of everything you will find during your examination. Okay? So let's move from here. So what I would like to talk to you briefly in this class, and we are moving now to the end of this class with this very good introduction. I never seen this before in the internet, and that's why I'm bringing it here to you. Just a quick comment. So keep in mind, if you want to be a professional project manager, work with a complex project, you need to be deep on things you want to learn, on things you want to do, on things you want to discuss. So there is a problem today we see in many organizations, and when we talk with the board, they really complain and they are worried about this, is because our professionals today, they are not deep diving on issues. We are treating things very superficial, and we are not solving problems. We are pulling problems. We are pushing problems as if they no exist. So this is not a good practice. So project managers are able to deal with a complex project. So if complex problem, this is our DNA. We are here to solve problems. We are here to engage people. We are here to make transparency in every step we do as managers. We are here to fit the compliance. We are here to meet the governance practices. And we are here, even in this very complex environment, to bring results, to change, to break disruptions. That's what project manager does. That's why I'm so proud to be one of the project managers, a well-recognized project manager, I can tell you. Let's move on. Key changes or key latest changes to the PMP exam. So let me go straight here. So this is the easiest part in this discussion. Before the 2021, we had 200 questions. Now we had 108 questions. Before we had 25 unscored questions. Now we have only 5. So what that means? That means there were 25 questions that if you choose the right answer or not, they were not taken in consideration on your final score. And now we have only 5 questions that if you choose the right answer or not, they will not be scored. But the key thing is that you and me, we don't know what are the questions that will be scored or not, okay? So in terms of hours, you have very exhausting 4 hours, now 3 hours and 50 minutes. Very exhausting, because one thing you need to be prepared is not only one thing you need to prepare for the PMP exam is not only on your technical knowledge, but on your emotional also, because the PMP exam is very exhaustive. It's 3 hours, 50 minutes. You're standing in front of a computer with a bunch of questions. It's like many bosses make impression on you and testing you all the time. And of course, the PMP is testing you for you to choose the best alternative. And so you need to get well prepared. So your mental health and your physical also, water, and make the meals in a proper way. Do not eat a pizza before you go to exam. You eat a pizza after you see in front of you on the screen of your computer. Approve it. Certification granted to Mr. Joe, or of course you. Okay, let's move on from here. So yes, this is maybe the key slide in this class. It's really important that you spend your time here with me on this portion. Okay, so the exam changed, and I'm trying to share with you some of these changes. And I'm bringing here 2 hypothetical examples for you to evaluate. So if you look on left side of this presentation, means before. Before means before 2021. After is considering the echo we was just mentioning. Let's read these 2 questions and answers. You are managing a project and receive a significant change request from the client, but the team has not yet been informed about the alteration. What's the first action you should take? These are really painful questions for project managers. Immediately inform the team about the requested change and adjust the project schedule. Reevaluate the change request and send a report to the client about the impact. Update the change management plan and communicate the request to the team and stakeholders. Ignore the request until more information about the impact of the changes available. Okay, let's try by exclusion first. Ignore is not something we need to consider. Immediately update the project schedule it's out of questions also. So I'm trying to make an X here. Yes, pretty hard, huh? Yes. So we are talking about the right answers, potential B or C. Reevaluate the change request and a report to the client about the impact. Not really clear if the stakeholders were involved, so I'm taking this out. Update the change management plan and communicate the request to the team and stakeholders. So this should be the right one. I think so, okay? So here's is the same question with slightly different words, but that you have to consider the echo structure in 2024 if this is the year that you are watching this class, okay? Immediately, okay, you are leading a project and the client requests a significant change, okay? Until here is very similar to what we had on the previous question. Considering the principles of effective communication and stakeholder engagement, what's the best way to manage the change request? Whoa! There are few words that are key in this question. Immediately inform the team about the change and adjust the schedule without consulting the client again. This is wrong, absolutely wrong. Assess the impact of the change and fully communicate the implications to the client and the team, ensuring alignment with all involved. I like the answer. Update the change management plan and discuss the request with the team before informing the client. I like this answer. Not so much, but I like it. Ignore the... okay, here I stop it right now. So, what's the difference between B and C? Perhaps, if you were before the 2021, we were going to the C as a proper answer. But here, the best answer is B. I think you might agree with me, but I want to explain you why. Pay attention to me right here. Before the examination content outline 2021, most of the questions were checking the ability of the project manager to solve a problem immediately following the process. So our mindset was to find a solution, a well-structured solution. When we go to ECHO 2021, the exams after this release, they are expanding. They have a wider view. We are not talking about only problem solving, but we are talking about problem solving, engagement, and keep in mind this third word, transparency. This is a word that's gaining a lot of visibility within most of our companies. Of course, I'm talking about big multinational companies, okay? Yes. That's why you need to have in mind that we are not talking about process. Okay, do this, and problem solve it. No, we are talking about integration, how the project decisions correlate with strategy, with the process, with the people, with governance, with compliance. Is that clear? If not so clear for you, don't worry. We have another 7 classes that you need to follow so that you can gain this understanding that I just mentioned for you, that you renew your mentality so that it can pass on the exam on your first try. So stay with us. So I forgot to do something here. I'll do it right now. Uh, Let me do this right now. So if you are here in the YouTube, if this is your first time with us, so I kindly ask you, so like this video and subscribe to our channel. So I will be here with you, bringing a lot of high added value to your career. Okay, so let's move. Let's move. Okay. Let's move to other slide here. Yes. This is a second snapshot of a very important thing I need to emphasize in this class to you. This is a snapshot of the ECHO document, and clear states here. There is half of the questions in the present exams related to agile and predictive management approaches. But we are moving fast to a hybrid approach. In the near future, the project management will not be plan-based or sprint-based. They will be a hybrid, a little from this and a little from that. And this will empower the results of our projects. That's what we are seeing in the recent research that some institutions, some researchers are doing. And what we are seeing is companies are investing in more on hybrid approach than only decide, go with predictive and go with Scrum or any other approach. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we are almost there. So I would like to go very quick and recommend to you. This is one of the parts that I like it a lot here. So, how do you study for the PMP? One thing you need to keep in mind to be approved on your PMP, you need to have good reference book, a good study plan. You need to practice a lot of simulated exams with a lot of bank of questions. And you need to have a good score on these simulated tests. That's really the roadmap for you to be certified. Okay, so you need good reference book, good study plan. I mean, plan really what and how and when and where you'll be doing your studies. Find good test simulations on the internet, and there's a lot. And have good scores on these simulation tests. Okay, this will increase the possibility, or actually the probability, for you to be succeed in your PMP. Okay, so let me get back here. So these are the 3 books recommended by the PMI. I miss it here. These are the 2 books recommended by PMI. The third one is the PMBOK 7. Let me try to PMBOK 7. Okay, I'm gonna try to write here. What's this book that you are mentioning here? So this is the book that I used during my studies. The PMP exam preparation by Rita Mukherjee is perhaps the classical and one of the most valuable books for those who wants to to get certified in PMP. I strongly recommend you. One very important thing is the PMP exam preparation by Hitamukai should be enough for you to get well prepared for the exam. I really like it. So this book also brings a bank of questions, this test simulation that you can take and improve as the day goes by and during your studies for you to be prepared. Okay. So yes, another 2 slides and we finish this class for today. What is the main function of the examination content outlined in the PMP exam? So this is not a PMP question. It's just for us in this first class to test our knowledge, okay? So define the certification requirements. Oh yes, this is part of the ECHO. Provide a detailed study guide. No, ECHO is not a study guide. Structure the exam, content and tasks. Absolutely yes. Evaluate the candidate professional experience. No way. So the best answer would be C. But of course, the answer A is also part of the ECHO, okay? And final question here, and then we close this class. Which of the following change was recently incorporated into the PMP exams? Reduction in the number of questions. Yes, this is right. Inclusion of agile and hybrid methodologies. This is absolutely right. Removal of the process domain. No way, it's wrong. Extension of the exam duration. No, it actually reduced 10 minutes. So yes, answers A and B, they are both correct, but what's really the big change on the ECHO is the answer B, inclusion of agile and mostly hybrid methodologies. Great. So this was the last slide I had here to share during this class. So let's take a look back very quick here. So what we learned in this first class? So we understand what is PMP, what is the importance, what is the impact in the for the professionals in their career. So we also saw some numbers here to motivate us to pursue this certification. We understood here also how do you apply? What are the requirements for your application for the exam? We understood, and this was one of the key of this class, what's the ECHO, examination content outline, what are the 3 process domains that we need to be experts in order to succeed in the exam. And I showed you some of the latest change. We compared here 2 questions, showing to you the differences on the approaches that we had before that compared to what we have today, okay? And so I provide you very quick some recommendations on how you can start your studying towards your certification. I like it, the HITA book, and I recommend it to you. Of course, the others reference in the market can be well received, but my experience tells me that the Hitamukai books perhaps can help you to save money, okay? So I'd like to finish this class here, and of course I would like to invite you for our second class. So what will you learn on the next class? So yeah, we will actually start studying here towards the PMP certification. That's why you need to be with us. So I'd like to see you in the next class, and Thank you very much for your attention. And if you didn't subscribe yet, please do it now. I would like to see you here. Bye bye.